Welcome to another edition of Makina Lady Riders of the World, or MLROTW. We are doing this show because hina-highlight po natin yung fact na ito na ata yung time, ito na ata yung era na may pinakamaraming babae na nagra-ride. Across the board, all over the world, there's just so many women riders right now. And we want to further highlight that through MLROTW. Our next guest, I actually met her in one of the Makina Moto shows in SMX. She was wearing a dark brown jacket. And how it went down was, we got introduced, sabi niya, "Hi, Zach." And then sabi ko, "Hi, Karen." And then yun na yun. 4 years later, here we are. We have a conversation with her. Through the years, I've been seeing her in my feed. She's of course a member of the Litas, so I know a lot of the members over there. And yeah, I'd constantly see her on the feed. And I would also see her sometimes in one of the media junkets for BMW Motorrad. Now, speaking of BMW Motorrad, one of the interesting things, or one of the good things that is happening for her right now, is the fact that she's holding a very high position sa BMW Motorrad Philippines. Natutuwa ako kasi normally, this position is held by a man. Now, I am happy not because I'm surprised that a woman got the job. I'm happy more on the lines of because it's about time, right? Because I feel that a woman can absolutely hold that position. In fact, nung pinadala ko ng BMW Motorrad sa Spain for the launch of the F900 series, ang humarap sa akin doon, yung in-interview ko, if you saw that video, was a woman. She was the head design for that project, and she's been having marketing, and siya yung humaharap sa amin sa press. Saka ang galing niya, I was in awe. Not because, again, she's a woman and she's doing it, but because as a human being, kaya niyang gawin. Regardless of what gender it is. She knew her thing, she knew how to ride, she knew BMW inside out, and she just was full of confidence. So I'm expecting nothing less from Karen, of course. I'm sure kayang-kaya na niya. Pressure. Anyway, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, our next guest for MLROTW, this is Karen Kennedy. Hello, Karen.
Hi.
Welcome to MLROTW. Thank you so much for taking time out. I want to start off with a question. I just want to get this off my chest. Are you related to John F? Parang you knew that question. Kasi what a scoop, diba? If you are, wow, coming out of... Are you?
You know, when I was younger, when people would ask me that, I'd be like, yeah, I'm actually his JFK Jr.'s illegitimate daughter. And there were some people who would believe me, and I'm like, no, I'm just kidding. No, I'm not related. My dad is from Scotland.
Oh,
so
cool.
Not related.
Okay, all right. There you go. At least we know. Karen, okay, so when did you start, basically?
So I started at the end of 2017, or August 2017, that's not the end. And I just really wanted to ride. So I did what everybody else did. I enrolled myself in the Honda safety driving school.
Okay, there you go.
That's
good.
It's the best way to start. You gotta learn how to do it properly. They put me on a TMX. First day we were out on the bike. I could not get the hang of the clutch, throttle, I was stuck, the instructors are here. I was like way over there, and they were calling everybody, and I was like, wait, I stalled and I can't start again. I kept dying and dying, so I was like, oh.
You just went there to learn, but you didn't buy a bike just yet.
I had a bike.
Oh, you had a bike. Okay, what was that bike?
I bought a Kawasaki W800.
Oh, that's a pretty good bike.
So that was sitting there, ready for me when I would have finished and passed the Honda school. I couldn't get the hang of the throttle and the clutch control. So actually that day, I went home, I called up Tyrone. One of his people at his house had a TMX. So I was like, I need to get the hang of this because tomorrow, I don't want to fail it. Bagsak ako that first day and I was like, it can't happen again.
So just for context here, Tyrone is your partner.
Yeah.
And he rides.
He rides.
Is that one of the reasons also you want to get into it?
No, we weren't together back then. We were just friends.
Oh, okay. There you go.
So he helped me and he was like, you know what your problem is? Your grip is wrong. Parang ganun yata. I don't know what it was. And I used to coach CrossFit and I did some weightlifting and stuff. And so he put it into context for me and he was like, you gotta hold it like you're doing a bench press. And all of a sudden, this light bulb went off in my head.
Nag-gets mo na bigla.
And I was like, oh, okay. And then after that, nakuha ko na.
Okay.
Yeah, so after that, past Honda.
Now you're on your W800. How many bikes have you had?
So W800, and then the second bike was a BMW R90 Scrambler. And then third bike that came in was a Triumph Bobber. And then a Triumph Thruxton R. And
Dami na rin ah.
yeah. And then a BMW S1000R.
Oh, you were getting faster here.
Yeah, because you know when I got the taste of it on the Thruxton. You know, I rode with these guys and
Thruxton Lakas, the 1200 Thruxton you're talking about?
yeah,
there?
the RS. Yeah, it's pretty strong. So I started riding with these other guys who were more performance riders, and then I was like, oh, this is so fun. And I was like, wait a minute, this isn't the bike that's gonna keep me in the same pack as these guys. I was like, I need to shift up. So that's when I started to use the S1000R. That was kind of it for me. When I got the taste of the S1000R, I was like, this is my baby.
Is it still with you?
It's still with me. I just don't have it now because it's at the doctor's.
Okay. But the bike behind you is still, that's a pretty cool bike.
This is a beautiful bike. The R90 Urban GS 40th Anniversary Edition.
But in terms of your progress, it seems to be really fast. I mean, even your friends could say, whoa, Karen's keeping up. Karen biglang nag-improve. Was it because of the whole technique thing and biglang everything changed then? Or
oh, that would be so cool though, right? If it was just like Tyrone saying like, hold it like a bench press.
So may
And then,
learning
boom,
curve ka rin.
There was absolutely a learning curve.
How long was that before you were really uber comfortable na talaga?
I need to say that I'm never like 100% comfortable.
you
Sometimes
wanna
it's been
be
a
lax.
while since I've ridden,
okay.
or maybe I'm on a different bike, and I feel that there's always something that I want to get better at. So anyway,
I think
to
that's
get
a
to
good
that,
thing. Sometimes kasi accidents happen kasi kampante ka na bigla and you take it for granted and you think kaya mo na kahit anong bike. I think that's good.
Exactly.
You're always alert.
I also ride with people who are very good, safe riders who really guide me. Because there was a time when I'd ridden with some others, like before, more towards the beginning. I wasn't a good enough rider yet to be riding with people who maybe aren't so structured with their riding style.
Is that another word for what? Kamote or what? I mean,
I didn't say that word.
Yeah, actually,
What's that? A sweet potato? I don't understand.
So since 2017 and now, where'd you go?
I have not ridden abroad. I would love to eventually. So around the Philippines, I have been to Bataan, Subic, San Fernando. So those were my longest rides before. And then all of a sudden took a ride to Bicol, Albay, Nisibis Bay. That was 16 hours. Because you know how it is when you're riding, it's like, oh, I'm thirsty. Oh, I need to pee. Oh, I need to get gas.
Stop over.
Yeah, lots of stopovers, but man, I think that ride really changed me because it connects you to your bike and the road in a way that nothing else can. You become so much more aware of your surroundings and, you know, aware of what you're capable of.
Dream destination
Ganda.
though for the Philippines and abroad.
I'm sad to say that I haven't really been around the Philippines that much, on a bike or off the bike. So I would really like to just explore the Philippines, period. And I would rather do it on a motorcycle. You know, the nice thing about the Philippines is the weather is generally pretty hot, so you don't need to pack that much. So I want to ride around the Philippines, maybe do the Philippine loop. Or,
Okay.
you
So
know.
priority is Philippines before you even riding abroad muna. Dito muna tayo.
Well, I guess right now, especially because of the pandemic, like I'd have a much better chance of riding around here than getting
That's true.
overseas.
That's
But I
true.
really want to ride around Europe. I'd love to ride around South Africa.
Oh, you love that. So speaking of making life a ride, you are now, what's the proper term? There
Head
you
of
go.
BMW Motorrad Philippines.
Wow, I must say. I mean, congratulations to you, Karen.
Thank you.
That's awesome. How did that happen? This is what I mean. You came from a Honda riding school and you're having a hard time with your clutch. Fast forward, what, 3-4 years later, you're the head of BMW Motorrad Philippines. So,
I know, right? It's crazy.
Galing nga eh. So, paano nangyari yun? How'd you get the job?
Well, it was a bit of an unfortunate circumstance.
Of course, Hill, you rest in peace. You're loved in the industry.
Yeah, wonderful person. I do hope he's smiling down.
I'm sure he's
at me.
proud of you. Yeah.
So I have been riding BMWs pretty much since the start. Because after 3 months on my Kawasaki W800, I sold it. And I started riding the R90 Scrambler. I kind of just really fell for BMWs. And I just felt like it was one of those things where like with my personality and my affinity for BMW motorcycles, it just kind of felt like the right thing to do to maybe, you know, have a go at this job, and then here I am.
So what are you looking forward to? You mentioned Europe and all those trips abroad after this pandemic. You're gonna have to be on those places and riding around.
Well, yeah, I mean, that would be awesome. You know, at this point though, I'm still kind of new, so I guess all I can really say about it is BMW has such a wonderful presence already in the motorcycle community, and I think I just want to continue to help grow that. And I think what the best that I have to bring to the table is my personal experience as a rider, and you know, with meeting other riders in the community, using all of that, all of my experiences, things that I've learned, to apply it to how to make BMW have better service, or not that it's already great.
I think your story right now it's an amazing story. Kasi definitely I feel that BMW Motorrad is also lucky to have you in the sense
Aw.
that you're a BMW fan to begin with.
Yeah.
You did not turn into BMW because of a job. You were there, job or no job. Of course, this is the only time I had a true, long, meaningful conversation with you. But because I do see you in my feed a lot and I see you with your group, when you told me about that, well, what a perfect fit. Good luck to you on that one.
Thank you so much. I really do hope that I'll do well.
Did you have a bad spill? Any experiences?
Oh, not really. I've had spills. I was actually coming from a BMW breakfast ride in San Fernando, so I was almost home. I was actually right outside of my house, about to turn into the driveway, and so I was stopped. The gate was being opened and stuff, and I blacked out.
What?
I blacked out from the heat.
Oh, okay.
So it was one of those days where it's just really, really hot.
And you're in gear pa, helmet,
Yeah,
right?
and I was like, I just really want to get home. I was like, should I stop for a drink? No, we're almost home. Just one more hour.
So you
And it
blacked
just-
out while rolling? Or?
No, I was stopped. Thank God. I was
okay,
stopped,
okay.
and then I blacked out. Next thing I know, I'm looking up at the sky. So I just basically tipped over.
Okay.
That's one thing, if you are thirsty, stop and drink. Because it
Your body's
happens,
heating
yeah.
up na. Oo.
And like when I took my helmet off, my hair was dripping like I'd just come out of the swimming pool.
Oh.
So I was really in a bad state. So I've learned my lesson. If I feel thirsty, I don't care who I'm with, how fast we're going,
Drink.
what our stop is. I'm like, I need to stop and get a drink. Excuse me.
So Karen, advice to riders out there, be it women or men, trying to get on a bike. What can you give to them as advice?
I think number one, you cannot let your ego get in the way of anything. Don't let your ego get to you. A lot of people get too confident. Me being a girl, I get bombarded with compliments sometimes about how, oh, you're a girl and you can ride, blah, 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 blah. And I have to keep telling myself, just because so-and-so said this and said that I've improved so much or whatever, like, it cannot get to your head. Because if it does, the moment that you start to think, like, I got this, I'm really good, like,
You lower your
whatever,
guard,
I don't
no?
need to learn anymore, that's when you're in trouble. So I think it's really important to just constantly, like, even if it's just watching YouTube videos or talking to friends who are better riders than you or had more experience than you, ego in check and ride with people who are better than you, but they have to be safe. There were a couple of people in particular from that group who really helped guide me and
Yeah,
mold
hindi
me.
kasi pwede in theory all
Tyrone
the
is
time.
one.
There you go. Sometimes when you're riding out there, the real world, and you're with people who are more experienced and you learn a lot, that's an invaluable teacher. What a show, Karen Galeng. I think you're an inspiration to a lot of not just women, but men. I am looking forward to talking to you more because of your new position now.
Yeah.
Looks like we're going to be running into each other a lot more. I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you so much for having me on your show.
Thank you so much, Karen. Ride safe.
You too.